didn't check out map ban, so we'll cover that stuff in a little bit. We got a game. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Heroes Lounge. I'm your caster this evening. We have got Heroes of the United States, or HOTUS for short, on the left-hand side, and we have on the right For Fun's Sake. This is a Division 3 matchup for Heroes Lounge, and thank you all so much for joining me. Thank you also to the teams who waited an extra like 20 minutes so that we could have this. I really quickly also want to say thank you to everyone who's in chat right now. Dan Sully, Sargron, thank you so much for also the great series. Thank you. Ektar, do you have a trash can near your desk? If so, just steep the tea at your desk. Here's the thing, it's boiling the water, which I do in the kitchen. Plus I also get like another glass of water and stuff. Porky, what's up, bud? Thanks for coming by. But how do we get to Tomb of the Spider Queen? Unfortunately, I didn't have time to do the map ban stuff. So we'll do it all live together. So give me 1 second. I just need to write this down. I apologize for my poor casting abilities. Let's see, where is it? So okay. All right. No, wait, I did the wrong thing. I'm all over the place. I'm so sorry. Thanks for all hanging out though. Thanks for bearing with me. But let's see. We have this. And all right, so I mean, Ektar, like I know you're sitting there wondering, like, man, Bahamut, how do we get to Tomb of Spider Queen for our first map between this and this best of 3 series? I'm so glad you asked. The home team is Heroes of the United States. They went ahead and banned out Volskaya Foundry. Dragonshire was banned out by the members of For Fun's Sake. We have the Alterac Pass banned by the members of Here's the United States. Towers of Doom, the best map in the world, was taken out by the Fun Squad here. And we have game number 1, Tomb of Spider Queen, chosen by the home team. That is going to be Heroes of the United States. Let's get back into our draft as we can finally take this apart here. And I just saw the most depressing thing that I think I've seen today casting. I know I'm just messing with you, but you don't gotta struggle to get everything up on screen. I'm gonna. No, I knew, like, I was like, I either get more tea, mostly just get a thing of hot water, or do the map ban stuff, and so I was like, no, we're good. I just made it seem more panicked than it actually was. It's not that big of a deal. But thank you all so much for hanging out, checking out the games. We do have an Asmodan being banned out here, so Here's the United States definitely know what is up. No ban on Sky Temple. Actually, we didn't have a ban on Sky Temple in our last series either. Doesn't seem like teams really worry or care about it. Asmo ban feels bad indeed. Sylvanas, Ana will be the first 2 picked up on the side of Here's the United States. We are going to be having the Joanna, Lucio, and Junkrat coming out from For Fun's Sake. I actually really like this draft so far. Junkrat is really good in the displacement between the lane rotations. He also can offer some great vision for the friendly team with the trap as well as the concussion mine. Just really great. Just start out like that's exactly kind of that's kind of the denial or the pressure that you can apply in some of these games, and it's very strong. Kael'thas will be banned out here. They just want to clear out some of the wave clear that they could be bringing to this game. The Jaina was the other priority with that. And Joanna, yeah. You hate Sky Temple? That's understandable. Any particular reason? Is it like the rotate? Like for example, the only map that I don't get excited about playing is Warhead Junction. And I don't like it because I don't like the rotations on that map. It's just, I feel like in that map you end up, you fight less and you lane more. And that map is very macro based, and maybe that's the reason why. Like, overall, I don't enjoy Warhead Junction. I don't know why. I couldn't tell you. Stoop Kid, thanks for coming by as well. You don't like the objective? That's fair. That's absolutely fair. Is it just I don't know. It's all right by me, but I can see why people don't like it. Uther will be picked up here. The thing is, I've casted enough Heroes of the United States to know who plays what sometimes. And this looks like it's a main tank Uther. You can basically win the map without entering the opponent's base once. I mean, technically, you could say that, though, about a lot of maps. You could technically win Alterac Pass without entering the base. Basically the same as Blackheart's Bay objective. I mean, you could win the game without... You could win by just grabbing the Punisher or the Immortal. I see what you mean. I'm being a butt about it. Stu Kid, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate that, my friend. I'm glad you're enjoying the stream. But I know what you mean. I know exactly what you mean. Like, you don't have to enter the core. Like, I get it. Double support here. Well, it makes sense because, well, they're going to be going into the Uther main tank. And the Ana actually pairs with that very, very well to buff his healing and also her healing, as Uther will be soaking up that damage, and they also need the healing mitigation onto that Lucio with the Biotic Grenade. You never enter the base. Yeah, so I mean, like, I see what you mean, because, like, you can, yeah, you can, the core can be damaged from just the lasers, and you don't have to, like, go up and smack it. You can say that about any map, absolutely, but I see what you mean. I absolutely see what you mean. The objective doesn't push through on Sky Temple, it just shoots. Yeah, no, I'm following you. I don't know, I've always liked it. But so, on that premise, do you not like the Hanamura Temple? Because Hanamura works the same way. Just curious. I'm not trying to be a jerk about it or anything. I'm just curious about your opinion. I don't get to talk to people about their Heroes of Storm map opinions very often. You'd be surprised that no one up here in the middle of a forest doesn't want to talk about Heroes. We want to talk about football. Ooh. Mostly because you also have casinos and you can gamble on football. You can't gamble on Heroes of the Storm. Biotic Grenade doesn't help Uther's healing, it only helps Ana's healing. Yes, I also know that. I was wondering if it's just you just don't like those objectives. And okay, I get it. Double tank versus double support. We're gonna find out if it gets the value they're looking for here. Thank you all for joining me. Thank you all for putting up with all of my shenanigans. But let's go ahead and get in this. We got game number 1, our best of 3 series. Go ahead and find out who's going to take this. On the left-hand side, we've got the members of Heroes of the United States. Jub will be on the Ana. Clyde will be on the Raynor. Watson will be on the Uther. Blaze on the Sylvanas. And Waterboy beyond that Malthael. On the right-hand side, we've got the team of For Fun's Sake. The Ginger is going to be on the Joanna. We're going to be having Abyss Nico. Going to be on the Junkrat. Lyros Tome is going to be on the Lucio. Night is going to be on the Gul'dan, and Gooberman rounds out the team on the Blaze. Let's go ahead and check out our mid lane, as Gooberman already needs to get this jet propulsion right out of there. Like, no, I don't want to take that much damage. I need to get out of here. And so we are going to be having just a little bit of a back and forth in between these lanes. I didn't really talk too much about the draft on the side, or the later half of this draft here, as we are going to be having Night on this Gul'dan. Going to be having some great wave clear, but the big thing to talk about here is the Echo Corruption, also going to be draining quite a bit of health. And the one thing is that Echo Corruption might be a little difficult for Ana to deal with, as well as Watson. Both of them are notably not the best healers to deal with a lot of that damage over time, and if you can have that Echo Corruption repeated and stack up onto enemies, that really can put in so much. And Blaze being forced around here, they also get the Banshees right out of there. Ginger needs to back out, they pop the Iron Skin, getting a little bit low themselves, and Lyros needs to just get the speed boost or at least amp it up to keep the friendly members alive. They also did go into that party mix at level 1, so as they're with this 4-member group, they're going to be stacking it up quite quickly, already hitting that 200 mark, and we're only 1 minute into the game. Very, very good stacking so far on that. The other thing to note too is that Blaze will be going into the new habits at level 1, going to be trying to give themselves a self-cleanse in case they get into any sort of hairy positioning with some of these enemy members. And lastly, I mean, we can also note that Uther is going to be stacking up the Hammer of the Lightbringer, if I'm not mistaken? Yes. And then Sylvanas is going to be going for the Unfurling Shadows at level 1, and the quick way to know that one, see, now, I don't know Zul'jin stacks, but I know Unfurling Shadow stacks are basically 0.5, so it's whatever number you see right there, just half it, and I believe round down, if it is like a 7, for example, and you can just, you can know where Sylvanas' extra damage is going to be coming in from. But this bottom lane, Waterboy into Gooberman, typically we would see a lot of the Blazes struggle a little bit here, but it seems like with a self-heal and the aggressiveness that they've been bringing into this in this matchup, it seems like they're doing just fine on said Blaze in the solo lane. You can basically spam Sentinel Camp and hope the enemy team is too focused on the objective. That's true. That's true. That Sentinel Camp is stupid. What is that, Jimmy, level 1? Oh, that's, I didn't even notice that. That is going to be Exterminator. Increase damage to minions, mercenaries, and mercs when you use your inspiration, and it increases by 100%. Baseline goes up by 50, I believe. Yes. Delicious. Oh my god, Exterminator. Typically we see that on like Battlefield of Eternity. I've never seen it on Tomb of Spider Queen. Maybe it's just to get some faster clear because that pepper is going to be, I don't know. It's honestly, this is the first time I've ever seen it on Tomb of the Spider Queen. Typically, Battlefield of Eternity makes sense because that's you're offering in a new race potential with said Raynor, but I feel like there's so many options. That will be Wattson getting rooted here. That's going to be a huge amount of Echo Corruption. They find Gul'dan in the back lane, though. They're going to be peppering him in with that Jimmy, and that's going to be the Concussion Mine forcing Wattson back right there. But first blood of the game, going to be going over to Heroes of the United States, as now Sylvanas going to be pushing out that damage into this mid lane. They back off just fine. Turn-in availability will be in favor for Heroes of the United States. We're going to see if they're going to be able to get that or if they prioritize a different sort of turn-in rotation. Typically, we see a lot of the teams trying to stagger in the Bruiser camp, and actually Wattson and friends might be backing off to try and do... Oh, they're just grabbing well, I think. But typically, we would see that those two staggered in together because then you can get the extra armor... you can get the armor reduction as you're pushing in with the wave, so Gul'dan is a little more mitigated. Back off. Nice. Just Lucio finishing party mix and easy. Here's the thing though, Raynor. No one gonna be stopping Raynor in time. BOE is the only map where you consider picking it, in my opinion. There's probably a better ace in the hole. Yeah, exactly. Absolutely. Like, you don't, like, I don't know. It's the one map where you can pick it up, but still there's like kind of better options. Does Here's the Storm not track half points of damage? SC2 does, and Heroes Engine is basically the same. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I just assume it's round down. That's I mean, I just use D&D rules, to be honest. Because I believe D&D rules is always, it's you know, you half a number and round down. Like for example, like Fireball. You roll 33 damage and someone makes the save DC, then you typically take half of 33 rounding down. You know, there could be house rules. They could do rounding up for funsies. Regardless, 7-7 in levels. We're going to be having some push into this top lane. Lyros is just trying to push it into this enemy team, but they are way too far forward, and that's going to be Heroes of the United States stepping up a little bit further. Night Knight going to get stunned out here by Wattson. Going to try and get some extra damage in as well, and Hammer the Lightbringer will be finished here in sub 5 minutes. Going to also be sieging in through this top lane fort, so they will confirm this. Sylvanas will lock it down just to make sure that they're going to get it, and oh my god, Abyss makes it out with some 15 health. What? Turn-in will be available for the members of For Fun's Sake. Heroes of the United States need to defend this. They've actually pushed in with their Malthael into bottom lane. 33 gems in the bank for them right now, or at least in their clutches right now. You can actually cycle it through and see we got Blaze, Junkrat, and Joanna with the majority of said gems. And actually look at some of the other numbers here as Z-Ginger is going to get stunned out, going to pop that Iron Skin, still staying forward as Night Knight is trying to get that damage in as well. Not going to be able to get what they're looking for. And we'll check on some of those questing talents in a minute, but we can look at some of the healing numbers as well and some of that experience just to see where, you know, where this level deficit is going to be forming from, and just, you know, highlighting those healers. It's always good to show how much healing they're able to get out here, as that Ana with 19,000, nearing 20,000 themselves, but Lucio just constantly chunking that up as they're going to be chasing Z-Ginger, who, well, a Joanna player is going to be a little low on health constantly. I think it's rounding up and down. Wait, rounding up and down? So is it different for every single kind? Like, would you say like different damage numbers to give different rounding? I mean, realistically, the best option would be go into like try mode, and then select my character, and then see how much damage I'm doing to like the dummies, and then see how much damage it says that I'm doing. You know, that's probably the best way to do it. And then find out like auto attack damage, mage damage, and heroic damage. Maybe all three of those are split. Who knows? Level 9 though to 8, we do have Web Weavers descending in favor for the members of For Fun's Sake. They're going to try and close this experience gap. And speaking of experience gap, we can actually show the experience right now. But this mid lane clear is going to be fairly quick. They lose their front gate. Bottom lane is so far pushed back, they don't even need to worry about it. And top lane though, this is where we see a lot of teams typically focus in, because this is the boss lane. You can stagger in the Web Weavers with the boss push, and that's a huge value together. That's going to be the D shield onto the Tormented Souls from Waterboy right now. Silence, just the speed boost coming out from Lyros. They're just trying to make their way out of here, but I think that's going to be Gooberman. and Ginger simultaneously being picked off. You can see their death timers are at 19. They're like exact. There's a little bit of a delay. Like some of the numbers, yeah, 14 to 14, 13, 13. Yeah, there's a little bit of a delay right there. But the thing is, they managed to deter that entire push and only really losing some health on their fort. They'll just jump over and say, cool, this is now a boss for us. We have turned in after this. We're going to try and stagger and turn in with boss. And that will be a huge double value for them on the side of Heroes of the United States. Now, they have to know this is happening. They don't have their 10s, but they could try and poke in. And I wonder if that's the case. Let's actually jump back over to some of the talents right now, as I'm curious what the stacking is going to be. That Taste for Explosions on the onto the Junkrat is currently sitting at 35 out of the 200 stacks, if I'm not mistaken. Blaze sitting at 13 out of the 15 on the. Oh no. See, this is where you want to have the new habits done already, because that self-cleanse could have been huge for them right there. But now we have boss pushing in. Web Weavers are going to be descending. This looks like here's the United States are going to try and get some huge value with this. The other thing to note, too, is they've got the Sylvanas. She can use her passive to lock down these towers. If it's 0.5 damage, it's probably rounding up. If it's below 0.5, it's probably rounding down. That's fair. That's absolutely fair. It's always the 0.5 where it's like, I guess you check the next decimal over and see where that goes. Regardless, Riptire will be coming out. That's going to be some damage out. Break it down as well, but here's the thing. The Tormented Souls in the backline, as well as just the Malthael trying to get the damage in the backline, and being able to step forward like that is so valuable for the friendly team, as the Ginger is going to be going down on top of the Blaze. Webweaver is still very healthy. Boss sitting at about a third its health, and here's the United States 9 minutes into this game. 9 minutes in, chat. They're going to be stepping up onto this core. They want to try and end, and Night is like, well, let me at least get some more Echo Corruption stacks onto you. Maybe I can finish this out. They've got the Horrify if they want to try and split them apart. Their core is starting to lose a lot of health. They've got to make a big decision here. Gooberman is back. 50%'s already fallen here, and that's also going to be the boss going down. Horrify did go out. This is going to be Blaze on the other side of this core, and Night is so low. They go down. Sub 10 minutes. The quickest Heroes Lounge North American Season 2 game that I've casted. GG. Well played. Wow. Just gonna screenshot that one. I don't know. I don't have words. That was a. I mean, like, I've casted Heroes of the United States in many different leagues and many different games. They're a strong frickin' team. They are a very strong team, and I think that was a very good example of said strong team. All right, so we already know. Cool. Man, I gotta say this. I will just shout out to, like, they're so good at communicating through like, if they're like, all right, cool, like, we're using Match Lounge 2 tonight, and we're gonna discuss all of our stuff in there. It's just like I can leave that open. It's just like, all right, cool, there they are. We take first pick. Cool, we can roll into this. It's just kudos to the teams. Like, it's the organization's so very well done from within Heroes Lounge as well as the teams as well. It's just, and I just show up and I'm like, hey, I want to cast your team. Did Sylv even get a lot of stacks? Not really. Sylv did, yeah. She barely got any stacks. Do I have another? I don't have Twitch. Okay. That's oh, that was caps lock. Where are we going for game? Oh, okay, we're going here. Managed to miss my pit cap. Bump and bump. Sarcasm? Oh well. I don't know why Unfurling Shadows is popular. I prefer both other talents. What's funny is, like, you wrote it wrong, but I read it the way that you intended to write it. Weird. Brains are weird. I'm gonna push R. Teams are all set. Team 2 gets... Yeah, cool. All right. We're all ready to go. Really quickly, I just want to say thank you all for hanging out. Thank you for the follows. Thank you for donating, following, subbing, all of that, hosting. I really, really appreciate it. If you do enjoy the stream, you're enjoying the cast of games, please go ahead and hit that follow button. I do a lot of that. I cast quite a bit on this channel. My normal stream schedule is Monday through Thursday. If I'm not on this channel, which on this Thursday I won't be, I'll actually be over on the Heroes Hype channel starting at 5 PDT. We'll have some fun games over there. But typically, that's my normal streaming days. You can find me right around after work, 5 o'clock PDT, 8 o'clock EDT. And then I'll usually stream for 4 to 5 hours, casting games, playing games, something. So if you do enjoy the stream, this is the majority of the content that you'll see. And sometimes on the weekend, we'll play some games, but it's very kind of here and there. We got some ideas, but we got a game in first. Welcome back to Heroes Lounge. I am your caster, Bahamut. On the left-hand side, we've got Heroes of the United States, or HOTUS for short. And then on the right, we have For Fun's Sake. This is a best-of-3 series, and we are in our second game. And if you're sitting there, and your name is Ektar, and you're like, why are we here? I got you. I got you, boo. The home team is Heroes of the United States. They went ahead and banned out Volskaya Foundry and Alterac Pass. The away team is going to be For Fun's Sake, and they ban out Dragonshire and Towers of Doom. First map was chosen by Heroes of the United States as the home team, and they opted for Tomb of the Spider Queen. They won that game, and For Fun's Sake opted for first pick for game number 2. So Heroes of the United States said, you know what? We haven't seen some Diablo maps. Let's go ahead and jump on over to Infernal Shrines. And I already heard some bans coming out here, so let's go ahead and take a peek, as Sylvanas is going to be removed by the members of For Fun's Sake, and Ana taken out of this game. And it looks like they're not going to be running any sort of double support, and as well as the other factor is that first pick was chosen from For Fun's Sake, so they didn't want to give over that Ana. Oh yeah, our brains just correct things themselves. Oh, it's great. No, it absolutely is. The other thing too is it also likes to move things around, so it's incorrect for me. Bahamut is awesome, best caster I've come across. Oh, thank you so much, Mikey Yoon. I appreciate that, bud. We're definitely gonna be checking out some other games for casting. Like I'm never gonna leave Heroes. That's like, as long as there's 10 people that want to be casted, I will cast their games. Like, I'll always be here. But definitely when Warcraft 3 Reforged comes out, like, I want to take a peek at that, because casting that, like, I did a little bit of a casting of that for Heroes Hype with Cat Peach. I had so much fun. Like, it's rare when you cast for 4 hours straight and you're like, oh man, 4 hours just went by. Like, typically after 4 hours of casting, you're just like, I'm done. I want a gin and tonic. I just want to lay on the floor. I want to have all the beers. So it was really, really fun. I was like, well, like, maybe I want to check this out as, like, Reforged comes in a little bit further. But Wipeout, thank you so much for the Twitch Prime subscription. Thank you for supporting the stream here. Very much appreciate that, my friend. Here's the United States is the best team. Hello? My boy? They picked the boy? That's it. Draft's over. That's it. Back to the desk. That's great. That's all they needed. No, it's actually, we do have a Jaina being picked up here with a Garrosh. I actually really like that combo right there. You're going to be able to lock them down with the Garrosh with the Warlord's Challenge and then blow them up with Jaina. You could opt for Ring of Frost or Water Elemental. Both of them are viable picks. With the Warlord's Challenge and the Ring of Frost, you could be going ahead and getting that double up, but the thing is, Water Elemental does get a lot of good poke value and sustained damage. The other thing to note too is that Abathur can clone said Jaina, and she gets the her passive is then still amplified by the real Jaina, I guess you'll call them. So there's going to be, you know, Abathur Jaina and real Jaina. If the real one already hits them with an Ice Lance, the fake one doesn't need to have that initial frost marking. They can just get that burst. So it's a small damage buff to be able to do that, but that's the thing, is it's a small damage buff, and that could be the difference of an entire team fight when it comes to situations like this. You could write like that and still read it correctly. I've read something about a study with this phenomenon. Yeah, it's basically if the first letter and the last letter are in the correct... Basically, if the first and the last letter are the right ones and everything in between is correct, it doesn't matter what the order is. And it's not everybody, it's the majority of people. Like, my dad showed this to me once too, and he was just like, can you do this? And I was like, yeah. He's like, oh, it's not a lot of people. Like, it's not, a lot of people can, but it's not everybody if I'm understanding it. It's a weird thing with brains. Azmodan will be needing something to pick up some extra clear in these waves. We could see something like a Kael'thas here. Azul! I think the Azul is going to be more or less in the solo lane, at least based on the player name that I'm seeing. But Jub is going to be grabbing, or at least Rhaegar is going to be grabbed here on the side of Heroes of the United States. They're going to need to round up this draft, though, on the side of For Fun's Sake. And they needed something for that solo lane. Well, actually, they're going to need something because Abathur just can't sit in the lane by themselves. You're going to need something to push that back. Azul will constantly push into that Abathur. Sonya, okay. So going to be having Sonya for that. Abathur will be kind of slugging around trying to buff out these lanes and also be utilized. So for example, when the objective pops up in top lane, Abathur should be body soaking bottom lane and hatting like the friendly members on the objective or hatting the mid lane so that way they can get the double lane soak and then the friendly team can then just fight in top. They're going to be a member down, so we're going to see what sort of advantage they're going to build with themselves here on the side of Heroes of the United States to match that Abathur experience coming in. Do they go for more kills? No. They rotate around the map with a bug lady. I love this draft so much. Like, you have no idea. This is... Back in the day, this is triple specialist, and people would be like, no, it's triple specialist. I would never touch that with a 10-foot pole. But here, none of them are specialists. We've got 2 ranged assassins, a support, right? Support? Yeah. No, a healer. Yeah, because supports are like, it's like Medivh or Lost Vikings. Or Abathur, I believe, is a support. And then you've got 2 ranged assassins, Zagara and Azmodan. They'll punish the Abathur really badly. The longer the words, and the longer, I think just the sentences are hard for me. It probably depends on the person's skill with specific language, and the longer the words are, the harder it gets to read correctly. I mean, I was raised by 2 immigrants, and English was not their first language, so yeah. And I went to Detroit public schools, so. There's that. No, it's the other thing too is like internet names are extremely difficult. Like, cause like I could see someone's name split in different spots than someone else would read it. So they would read. There's one name like that. Like I was reading wrong and it was like Pindlebot, but I was calling them like Pin Deadbolt or something. Because I was breaking it apart differently, but like I was watching someone else's stream and they're like, oh, that's Pindlebot. And I'm like, oh my God, I've been saying it wrong forever. They're like, oh, I didn't care. But let's go ahead. Let's actually jump into this. On the left-hand side, we've got the members of Heroes of the United States up 1 game in our best of 3 series. We've got Clyde on the Azmodan, Blaze will be on the Zagara, Waterboy going to be on the Zul, Jub going to be on the Rhaegar, and Watson rounds out the team on the Joanna. Zarya, Tassadar, TLV, Abathur, and Medivh are all supports. I find it easier when it's longer. We might have a bit of a DC issue really quickly. But either way, Abathur is going to be played by Abyss Nico. We'll see if they'll be back in here. That's no big deal. Mid lane is where all the fun's going to be right now, so we'll focus on this. Knight is going to be on the Jaina. Ziginger will be on the Garrosh. We're going to be having Guberman on the Sonya, and Lyros Tome is going to be on the Malfurion. Watch it. See. Here's the funny thing too is like, I find it easier when it's like, yeah. So the names were all the same color, so I thought I'd miss someone's message. But for example, like Z Ginger's name, like I could completely see myself splitting that into 3 different, like splitting that up completely differently. I don't know why, but I managed to do it. This Azmodan is going to be going into the Greed at level 1. That's all I'm gonna say about that one. I typically go for Wrath. That's just me. Waterboy's gonna be thrown out of position here. They don't have the backlash, or at least they did have the backlash, and it just wasn't enough. And it looks like we have the little Carbot Garrosh throwing. That's very, very good. But they're gonna continue their rotation to say, you know what? That doesn't matter. We just stack. We stack our Azmodan. That's the first thing that we need to do. And look at Zagara in top. No one really dealing with her per se, as Guberman now is gonna be jumping up here. They need to make sure that they're also taking out as many of these as I can do this. Creep. There we go. These creep eggs, more or less you could say. I click on one. Creep Tumor. That's the name for it. See? Creep Tumor is going. They're just clearing this out, and Sony actually does a really, really good job in clearing those out. The hat from Abathur will also offer in some extra kind of poke damage onto these if they can scout them out, so that way you don't have to use the Whirlwind or angle the Slam just to be able to get that. We are going to be checking out this bottom lane, as it looks like it's Night Knight going to be clearing this out, and mid lane is just going to continue rotations. 50 stacks currently sitting on that Azmodan. I think eliminating possibilities is half or why it's easy to do so, else the context of words and nearby helps. Yeah. It's, yeah, like, it's also the internet too. So, like, for example, like, there's a player named Kage Kiri, which I believe I pronounced his name wrong every single time until I met him and he yelled at me, and it's not Caged Corgi or Caged Kiri, which I believe is what I was saying, but I didn't know. Like, he's Kage Kiri. So it's those little things right there too. Like, people will message me afterwards like, oh, that's not how you pronounce my name, it's this way. And I'm like, but it phonetically reads like this, and that's what I've been known. Like, that's what I always know. Blaze is going to continue to push out this top lane. They also do have that Infested at level 1, which is really starting to work out. I believe they took Medusa Blades, and that's going to be an extra way to just continue to push out these waves. Serrated Spines is really a fun talent, but I would say it's more of like a brawl talent. Like, you're just sitting there autoing into enemy heroes, and you're going to constantly be able to do that. Your push pressure with the Medusa's Blades is just such a huge value. I got it, like, I love... When I play Zagara, and I actually have to, like, lane and be a useful hero for my friendly team members, that's exactly what I do myself, because it's just the extra damage and 3 targets. Excuse me. The split damage, but you're still hitting 3 targets, which is mostly the minion wave. My apologies for reading that one backwards. But you still have to read the words somewhere, I think. Ah. Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. You have to kind of experience it or have some dude yell at you at a bar before a Heroes event. Sony will be finishing this out with the hat coming out from Abathur, and it looks like they're just like ooh, wow, Zul gonna get caught out right there. That must have been the toss coming out from ZGinger. But I think they were just more or less saying like, cool, like we'll just go ahead and rotate around this map and just we don't care about the first Punisher, which Frozen Punisher will get some great value for them because it does lock down the towers, but they don't really have anyone pushing with it. Jub makes it out just fine. Whew. Smurfy Dill, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate that, my friend. Good games earlier. Very good games earlier. That Phoenix play was just mwah. If that is the same Dill, which I'm assuming it is. Now they're going to be adjusting their sights into top lane here as they're going to be pushing in on this. That's going to be the Frozen Punisher. Look how much value they're getting onto Clyde right here as Azmodan needs to back off for a second. Going to just go ahead and try and dunk out onto some of these enemies. Going to stack that globe up a lot more, but unfortunately they're going to have to change. They're going to have to trade out Watson, that Joanna. Meanwhile, though, here's the thing. Zagara, pressure in bottom. Abathur's going to be hatting this. They did go for the Mule at 7. I was wondering, I was like, with all the split pressure constantly across the map, are they going to go for Mule? And yes, that is going to be the case, but it's not going to be working out for bottom lane. So they trade out bottom for top. Azmodan once again dunking forward, just going to be getting those stacks out. ZGinger, oh my god, if they can get one hit onto them, but they don't have a dunk. They don't have a dunk. It's like 3 seconds off at this point because it's a 10-second cooldown. And they don't have gluttony or anything or finished out, so they're not going to get the cooldown reduction. So they say, you know what? You make it out alive. We trade out the forts, and now we just go ahead. We get that clear, and we're almost stacked up on our Azmodan. Waterboy does make it out alive, and that's going to be them diving onto Gooberman. There should be a dunk up and available. They're not going to go for that initially. Maybe look at. Wait for it. No, they're going to go for the stacks. They just say, let's get the stacks. Let's finish this out. 199 stacks, but a finished talent is not one of them. Siege Camp will be picked up here on the right-hand side. Same thing on the left. We have Zagara jumping back into the top lane. It is 9 to 8 in levels. So let's cycle through some of these other numbers here, get a picture of what the healing and experiences look like, as well as that damage. And we'll just check out Blaze as they're going to throw more of those creep tumors up in top lane and continue to pressure this out. Maybe look at getting themselves a top lane fort to even that out. And the other thing, too, to know is that they actually didn't get the top lane fort in their favor. So there's no periodic catapult pressure that Zagara needs to deal with or Abathur can really benefit from. This Infest is really, the buffing of this mini wave is huge for them. Being able just to kind of have that damage right there. Jaina is in the bottom lane grabbing that camp. They don't know this, but they're going to be just going ahead and saying, cool, we'll just push in on this mid lane, and we're also going to go ahead and pick up our 10s on top of that. If this is Demonic Invasion, I swear to, okay. Punisher, Frozen Punisher can't get 3 specials worth of push, though. Not that early, but almost. That's true. That is very true. Turnwell, by the way, thank you so much for coming by. I don't believe I said hi to you, so thank you for coming by and cheering on these teams and just chatting it up in chat. 10 to 10 levels. Sonya apparently hit the wrong key as she took Wrath of Berserker. I believe she meant to take Leap right there. That's the standard for every Sonya. I think Zagara did also go into the. Did she go for Devouring Maw? That's quite the cool. I'd have to double check. I actually don't see any of the Nidus networks on the map, but Zul will be going down. Actually, no, I do see Nidus networks on the map now that I'm looking at it a little bit closer. So she does go for it. It's just the full cooldown for it, and I thought it was way shorter. We do have Johanna still holding 10. Are they going Falling Sword? Or are they going for Blessed Shield setup? Jaina did go for the Ring of Frost, so they're going to be having that snap with the Warlord's Challenge. Root goes out from Malfurion. Zijinger looking for some sort of groundbreaker to slow them down. They have this top lane pushing in. They need to respond to this sometime soon. Zagara just making sure the bottom lane is heavily pushed out. Jumps into the Nidus, is like, dude, I'm out of here. And jump back into top lane. Gonna make sure that my top lane fort doesn't go down. And that's really good rotation, really good communication coming out from the members of Heroes of the United States. Malfurion has found this, and they're like, all right, well, no more availability on that one, but 28 seconds on the cooldown on said Nidus network, and I do believe that is a global ability, so you don't need to be in the lane to actually spawn those. Let me double check on that one. Anywhere, summon a Nidus Worm on creep anywhere that Zagara has vision. So anywhere on the map, in 5 seconds, they can literally just put it right back here and just be like, cool, all right, I can just jump back down here. Once again, though, they're saying that Punishers don't matter. They're just going to siege in with their their 2 ranged assassin and their melee assassin. I think actually Zul is considered a bruiser, if anything else. Please no Falling Sword. They're still holding. They're still holding, Tano. Arcane Punisher picked up for the mid lane. For the bottom lane. Sonya's still down there. Top lane pressure coming in. Watson gets thrown over the wall. They need to take out the sidewall for this. Dunk goes out as well to make sure that's going to be there. Zijinger is going to be pulled in, and they're trying to focus them. Now Watson's going to be taking tower shots, so they back out. Jaina did drop that Blizzard as well. I swear I can talk. No, it's no Falling Sword. It's actually going to be Blessed Shield here, right here, as that's going to be ripped right away. They're looking at Knight, who gets thrown out of the fray, but Zijinger might have put themselves in a bad spot to do so. Garrosh goes down. Frozen Punisher still Arcane Punisher still pushing in through the bottom lane. Dunk goes out, and Abyss is going to be getting the clone cleared out. I was like, wait, Abyss, hold on, that's the Abathur, and they're not Are they going to try and end? Like, Watson's stepping up here. They're like, Zagara left, but Watson's stepping up, and they've got the laser going out onto Lyros. They actually just need one auto. They find the Malfurion. That's going to be Gooberman so very low as well. If they just get the good auto onto them, they'll be able to get it, but that's not going to be the case. Abathur hat will be onto them as Abathur is currently sitting in the core. They're trying to feed in these minions, but Watson needs to make their way out. Nice avoidance of the spear right there. The Frozen Punisher goes down. Bottom lane is stacked up quite a bit. Zagara does hearth back to make sure that that bottom lane doesn't get any more value than it currently does. But I gotta say, to be able to get a keep and not take a single Punisher, and that was also right around the 9 minute 20 second mark in this game. They're chain of command. Are we? Clyde is just taking all the talents that I'm just like. I feel like Clyde watched a stream, was just like, all right, these are all the talents that Bahamut loves to pick, and he always talks about. I'm gonna pick none of them. I'm gonna pick all the talents he hates. I mean, it's just, Wrath is so much fun. That's the thing. Well, I'm not going to harp on it too much. We're actually going to be having Jub getting caught out right here. Blessed Shield goes out as well. That's going to be Rhaegar going down. The dog does not have the Ancestral timing, as that will be the sounds coming out from Malfurion. They actually have the toss out onto Gooberman, who actually separates them from the team, and actually they get the kill as well. Really good work coming out from a lot of these members, and that's Johanna stepping forward saying, I got to do as much as I can, as Abyss is going to get the copy onto them. They drop as much damage as possible, just trying to get the clear onto this clone who's getting the shred, and they managed it. But here's the thing, Watson, meanwhile, was just doing the Benny Hill juke, and Watson, no. And Clyde now rotates into mid to help out the friendly team, and they should be able to buff out that bottom lane as well, throwing the lieutenants down here just to get some extra pressure. Oopsie, I actually wanted to show the kills right now, as Azmodan is just going to be doing their best to just push out the mid lane. Gets his Azmodan, but still sad because of build RP, or RIP. Yeah, that's basically me. I gotta complain about something. Also, that gives me time to chug tea, because, whew. 16 Talontiers here in favor for the members of Heroes of the United States. Gooberman going to be pushing up this top lane, saying, I am sick of seeing this low health fort just tanking the damage. It says, whatever. Just going to clear this out. Also going to make sure that that Nidus Worm is going to be cleared out. But while they see that the Sonya's in the top lane, we're going to go ahead and just check out this mid lane so we can see the vision right now for the members of Heroes of the United States. That Sonya's still showing in top, so they're like, all right, well, we know that they're down a member. They know that Abathur is, well, Abathur, so they're not going to get rushed by that. They could see the clone pop up, or this is, are they trying to chase in on this? Let's actually, so we can see Sonya's vision right now of just where they're going. She's like, all right, well, I'll Hearth right here, but oh my god. Yep. Slows, root. Abathur gets the hat. They're going to delay this a little bit, but Sonya goes down. They will be onto their bruiser camp as well. They should be able to grab this before they invade in time. But here's the thing. Look at Zagara in bottom lane. They have this infest. They're going to be buffing out these minions. Realistically, I mean, they've got the Nidus. They can jump onto this, and they don't need to worry about it too much because Sonya's down. And even if they have the Abathur clone... Oh, you can't take damage and get into that Nidus. Blaze, what are you going to do here? That's going to be Lyros coming down as well. Blaze... Oh. Zagara goes down. So they trade those out. Sonya is going to be back in 9 seconds. Zagara going to be down for 45. She's got a Nidus at core. She doesn't have this one in the bottom lane. This will be the first Punisher in favor for the members of Heroes of the United States as it's 17 to 16, 3 to 8 in kills. Kill lead actually coming out in favor for the members of For Fun's Sake, but we're going to see if they're going to be able to get this defense. Top lane does have pressure coming in. Absman going to be joining into the friendly members. They do have their Sonya back up and available in 20 seconds on the Zagara. Blessed Shield did go out right there as they're trying to step forward onto this. They have the Wrath of Berserker going to be popped. That will be the Skeletal Mages used from the Zool as well. Waterboy and friends stepping forward. The Punisher below half health already, and now they're focusing on this. Keep jump comes out from the Punisher. Gooberman going to be trying to live into this enemy team with all that spin to win value. Ring of Frost will be coming out onto a couple members, and now they're using that Hurricane to stay alive. Dunk goes out from the Azmodan as well. They're going to be getting the Groundbreaker, the Warbreaker finish. Blaze is going to be joining in the friendly mess of all of this as Azmodan's the first one to go down. Waterboy trying to step forward, and they get 2 kills from the Zool. Z-Ginger is so very low, needs to tap the well. They actually step forward to tap the well, and that was their own undoing. Punisher goes down, but this is going to be 3 members out as well. Zagara drops the Roachling. That will be Mule coming out from the Abathur, but that's going to be Z-Ginger with the nice Waterboy steps out from all that damage. There's going to be the Mule doing everything it can, but unfortunately Watson clears that out, and it looks like this is going to be the core cleared out by the members of Heroes of the United States. They're going to be taking this series in a 2-0 fashion as Abyss comes out, and they go down. Night will survive, but that will be core going down. GG. Well played. Whew. That was a very fast game. Alrighty. There's a bunch of games tomorrow night. I'll have to look and see what I can pick up. Like a 5:30, 7 o'clock game. Oh, that wouldn't be bad. We'll see. I'll look at the schedule tomorrow. We'll show some talents as well. That was such a good series. But here's the United States. They're a strong team. Heroes Sharebot, what's up? GG's indeed. Let me see if I can't spell interview. Interview. It's just what I sent to their captain. We're gonna see if they want to do an interview really quickly, and we could ask them some questions. Interview room. Okay, cool. So we'll see in just a second. We'll show talents once more. Oof. Alrighty. Cool. Alright. So we have got ourselves an interview in